my name's Odessa. I'm the Mystic Intuitive Healer. I'm a psychic medium, Reiki master, spiritual coach, and an intuitive tarot card reader. And through this channel, as well as my website, odessaandI, I deliver messages to you that will help you to awaken, heal, align, and grow. I'm so excited that you guys are joining me for this pick a card today. We're going to be diving into advice from your spirit guides. Basically, I'm going to give them an opportunity to tell you exactly what you need to know right now. But before we get into the cards, I wanted to let you guys know that I'm running a contest and I'm going to be gifting one subscriber a free one-on-one reading with me. All you have to do to enter is subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment below. So I've got 3 piles here for you guys to select from for today's reading. Pile number 1 is partnered with blue calcite. Blue calcite is a crystal that helps us to get in tune with our own authentic voice, speak our truth, and it helps us to dispel any kind of nervousness that we have around really being our authentic self and letting the people around us know what we really think. Then pile number 2 is partnered with fluorite. Fluorite is an amplifying crystal. It will help to open up our crown chakra, but it also works really beautifully in conjunction with other crystals. So it will amplify the healing properties of any crystal it's used in conjunction with. And then I've got here green aventurine. Now this is an amazing crystal also for dispelling nervousness. It's really great at dispelling anxiety. It is connected to our heart chakra. And sometimes when we're disconnected with our own self-love, we can feel anxious, depressed, and sort of off balance. And green aventurine helps us to sort of heal those wounds, dispel those fears, and really feel whole and empowered. So I'm going to give you guys a second to select your pile, and I will see you in a moment. Pile number 1. So I've got your card here as well as your crystal. So this card is going to give me an overview of what your spirit guides want you to know right now. So let's see what it is. It's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. All right. So the full moon is a time when we can really start to dive deep into all of the things that we want to release from our life, because over the course of the moon phases, from the full moon to the new moon, the moon becomes darker and darker. It gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And so that's why this particular message is talking about releasing negativity. Now, the Scorpio astrological sign is also connected to psychic abilities, but there's this real dual nature to Scorpio where they can be very intuitive and psychic, but then there can also be sort of this tendency to sort of lash out, that stinger. So this could be talking about you releasing negativity from the past, pain that you're carrying around from trauma from the past, anger or fear. It could also be talking about you carrying around negativity and judgments on yourself. So let's get some more cards and really sort of dive into, what this is talking about. I'm going to use this tarot. Okay. So what should pile number 1 know right now? What does pile number 1 need to know right now? Oops. Too many cards. Okay. All right. You know, it's a very consistent message. This is really clear. Your guides want you to know that you need to sort of take some time to withdraw right now and start looking within and sort of process some of the shadow and some of the trauma. You got the Hermit, which is talking about being in isolation, withdrawing, spending time alone, giving yourself an opportunity to sort of self-reflect, and then partnered with the Moon, which is talking about secrets and talking about the shadow. These two cards together really, and partnered with this, it's time to release negativity, are really indicating that it's time for you to start diving into that shadow. And the shadow is the parts of ourselves that we reject. And sometimes those things are things that we feel fear around, because we feel like if we revealed that about ourselves that people would judge us, or we feel shame because it's memories from the past, things that we feel like we screwed up on, and we're still carrying around that guilt, or things that other people shamed us for in the past. And releasing the shadow and doing that shadow work is really a process of having the courage to go back in time, in your mind, reevaluate those things that we feel shame or fear or guilt or anger around, and reevaluate them. You know, relook at it, not because you are, you know, the aim isn't to re-traumatize yourself. The aim is to play devil's advocate against the narrative that you have. You know, it's an opportunity for you to look at these situations with your adult eyes and reevaluate whether this is something you still have to be carrying around with shame and guilt and fear. You know, because sometimes the things that we have buried in the shadow are some of our greatest gifts. Like from my own personal experience, my psychic abilities were one of those things that I was keeping in the shadows. I didn't talk to my family and friends about it ever because I was afraid that they would think that I was crazy, or that things, you know, I was making stuff up, or, you know, whatever their judgments were. I was afraid of what they would think. And ultimately, I had to accept that I am who I am, and if they don't accept me for who I am, then maybe we don't need to be in each other's lives. Or maybe they can just keep their opinions to themselves, you know? Because this is who I am. And it's one of the reasons I'm here, embodied on earth, is to share these gifts with others, to help them to understand themselves on a deeper level. And if I had continued to just keep it hidden, I would have been in a constant cycle of pain, because the universe wanted me to do what I'm doing now. They didn't want me to have a regular life where I just kept all of this stuff secret and then just, you know, passed away one day and nobody ever knew. So you have those hidden abilities as well, and things that will help you to see a different future for yourself, because you got the Three of Wands, the Ace, and the Knight of Wands. So this is talking about you having a new idea, some sort of inspired idea come to you that has something to do with the physical world, some sort of possibly a business plan, and I'm getting goosebumps. And when I get goosebumps, it's my guides are really trying to let me know that what I'm saying is really significant. So there's a number of you that are supposed to be going in a different direction in your life, or there's an idea or something that you've been wanting to do for a long time. Like some of you want to write a book. There's some people that want to have podcasts. There's like creative ideas that you're supposed to be birthing into the world, because they're going to inspire others, and it'll help them to awaken, and it'll help them to see that, we don't have to play by the rules as they've been laid out to us, where we have to get a regular job, and we have to do regular things, and we have to, buy a whole bunch of stuff and keep up with, the expectations of those around us. One, those material things never fill you up. It will never take away that shadow. It'll never make you feel whole, because you're denying who you truly are. And when you start to allow those gifts to come forward, you're going to see a different future for yourself. And that's when opportunities are going to start coming into, because this card is signifying your chips coming in, opportunities being within reach. And when you can start to see those opportunities coming towards you, you can meet them halfway by taking charge and moving forward. The Knight of Wands is very action-oriented, passionate, driven. This is also the beginning stages of being an entrepreneur, being a self-starter. This is so exciting. I know it's really intimidating because I've been there and I had to live this. And it's really intimidating. It's very scary. But it gets easier, because as you start to walk towards your, goal, as you start to embrace this Ace of Coins and you start to really go forward, the opportunities that you see ahead of you are no longer a mirage. It's not like a fantasy. It's not a dream. It starts to manifest in the 3D, where, you're walking along and all of a sudden you just bump into somebody who can solve a problem for you. The universe has just aligned you with someone that can help you bring this into the physical. And you never, ever would have met that person if you hadn't started to walk towards that goal, So let's see what else we can find out about this shadow and releasing negativity, and what else your guides would like you to know about your destiny is the word I just got. Your destiny. Wow, that's so cool. They're saying there's one more card that's supposed to come out. When I say they, I'm talking about my own guides, because my guides help me to understand what your guides want you to know. Okay, we got lots more cards. They said one more. Okay, so yes. Oh my God. So you've been in this energy of the Nine of Swords, which is talking about there being deep depression and anxiety. You've been in a state of conflict with others around you. I think that there's people in your life, possibly in the past, but there's a good chance that that kind of energy is still at play in your life, that kind of caused you to second guess yourself, and you aren't able to build a solid foundation for yourself when you've got all of these questions sort of bouncing around in your mind, basically causing you to question whether you could ever make it, whether you could ever actually make this dream a reality. But once you release some of the shadow. You don't even have to do all the shadow work, because honestly, shadow work is a lifetime process. You don't finish shadow work and then move on to be perfectly in alignment and balanced and whole and everything is perfect, because we're here to learn lessons and grow. You know, you're never going to learn all the lessons and have all of the growth in one lifetime. You know, I believe in reincarnation. You take all the lessons you've learned from this life and you take it into the next life. And, you know, the catch is that you don't remember. At least most people don't remember what their past lives are. You might have deja vu, or, you know, just have like a sixth sense about things. But there always comes a point where the universe says, okay, you've learned enough. You've paid your dues. You know, if there was karma that needed to be balanced, you've gone through those karmic contracts, and now it's time to awaken. And that time is now. That time is now. You got the Judgment card, which is talking about an epiphany, a spiritual awakening, seeing things in a different light, seeing things from a different perspective. And that might not resonate with you yet, right? This could be, for some of you, I'm getting in the next month, but it could be in the next between the next month and the next 5 months, because I got 1 and I got 5. And when that happens, it's going to bring new partnerships in for you. First of all, you got the Two of Wands, which is talking about looking towards the future. So you're seeing things in a different perspective. You're having these divine insights, right? It's kind of like, you know, your crown chakra is going to be opening and you are going to start getting new information. It will just feel like it's your own thoughts. It's channeled information that's coming from your spirit guides. But it'll start to get you to sort of look towards the future and see things in a different light. See different possibilities. Start daydreaming the way that you did when you were a child. And that is going to do 2 things. 1, it's going to bring you into alignment with other people that can help you to grow your skills. You've got the 3 of Coins, or the 3 of Pentacles, which is talking all about skill development. So you might end up partnering with somebody who could be a mentor to you. But the other great thing about this is that it's going to help you to build a solid foundation, and possibly even a partnership with like a divine counterpart, because you got the 4 of Wands, which can also be talking, it's a celebratory card. So it's talking about celebrations. But it can also be talking about marriage. So you might end up meeting somebody that you actually could start a life with and really have a solid foundation and future with. So I'm going to ask your guides to give me just a couple of final cards. I am going to go to my Joy Seeker Oracle. I just received this deck. I am so in love with it. It's a Canadian made deck by Danielle Trudeau, and I did a walkthrough if anyone's interested. The link is below. So what final messages do you have for pile number 1? Okay, they said that's enough. Okay, cool. Okay, so first of all, you got the lionfish, and this card is talking about really balancing out your energies. The lionfish is a gorgeous fish, but it's also a poisonous fish. And so the lesson of this particular card is talking about releasing our toxins, releasing our trauma, releasing the shadow so that our beauty can shine out. And it's also a card that really reminds us that it's important to have strong boundaries. And by doing that, you sort of like had to give people warning about that. Now, you can do it in a beautiful way. It doesn't have to be aggressive. The lionfish looks gorgeous and definitely has boundaries up in a lovely way that helps other creatures in its environment and predators to know that this isn't somebody you want to mess with. And then you also got the dragonfly, which is a card that talks about transformation. And this talks about also getting in tune with our spiritual nature and our psychic abilities. The dragonfly is often connected with seeing into the future. Now, you also got the barn owl, which is also connected with psychic abilities. It's connected with wisdom. And you got the dolphin, which also is connected with psychic abilities and using your intuition to do good for not only yourself but for others. So that is my interpretation of these cards based on my own spiritual knowledge of animal symbolism. But it is a brand new deck for me, so I want to just quickly take a look at the cards just to see what Danielle associated with these particular images. And the lionfish she has it connected to lust and addiction, and it says the lionfish has beautiful fins that hold a secret. They are poisonous. They serve as a warning that the pretty things that we may be lusting after might actually do more harm than good in the long run. And there's azaleas. This flower is an azalea. Are also beautiful plants with a toxic secret. Well, there you go. I mean, that's in alignment with what I was talking about. Anything that's toxic in your life, anybody that's not serving you, release them. They need to go. They're never going to help you to grow and really be able to shine and stand in your own authentic power. And then the dragonfly is talking about adaptability and being able to pivot. She says here that the dragonfly is a creature of adaptability. As they grow, they shift from water to air, can turn on a dime, hover in place, or fly very fast. We too are capable of adaptability. Oh, I love that. Oh my God, that is a beautiful interpretation of the nature of a dragonfly. Absolutely. You have the ability to release all of these old patterns. You don't have to continue to do the things that you were doing before just because that's, what worked for you in the past. You can make different choices because ultimately what you have been doing isn't working for you anymore. Right? Because the Nine of Swords wouldn't be here if it was bringing you satisfaction and joy. It's time for you to release all of that and start to engage in the world in a different way. And let's see here. The dolphin is a symbol of fun and play. The dolphin reminds us that we often take life far too seriously. What is the point if we aren't enjoying ourselves? It's time to invite more play into our lives. Take up a new hobby. Do something purely because it makes you happy. Delphinium flowers also remind us that life can and should be filled with fun, lightness, and levity. Absolutely. I think that's beautiful. Start to focus on what brings you joy, what brings you happiness, because out of that, that's where you're going to find those ideas that bring you true abundance. And then the final card here is this barn owl. So let me just pull this up. Okay. So the barn owl is a symbol of intuition and truth seeking. The barn owl uses its intuition to see what the world perceives as truth while seeing the actual truth at the same time. And like the lotus flower, we too can bloom in murky waters, seeing our inner truth. We all have a unique lens through which we see the world. Absolutely. From great pain can come great beauty. By experiencing these sorrows, these traumas, this pain, you will be able to empathize with others in the future. You're going to be able to see things from their perspective, and you not only will use that to develop these beautiful relationships, this being, marriage, foundation, partnership, this being a friend, colleague partnership, two of ones also being a partnership with yourself. You will be able to use that knowledge, that increased intuition in the next life too. And it will help you to reach new heights. This is beautiful. I love this message. I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. It was such a pleasure delivering this message from your guides to you. Like I was saying before, I'm running the contest for a free reading with me. So if you want to participate, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment below. And if anyone would like to work with me one-on-one and would like a reading right away, you can go to my website, odessamall.com, and you can book reading with me there. Or I do mediumship and Reiki as well. So I hope that I see you guys in the next reading, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care. Hi, group number 2. Okay, so I've got your card here, and this is going to give me an idea of what your guides want you to know. High level, basically, what is the message that your spirit guides would like you to know right now? So let's see what it is. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. All right. So Taurus, the bull, it's all about taking charge and diving forward. But there can be an element of stubbornness and inflexibility. And you want to make sure that if you're embodying that energy where you're like, I know exactly what I want and I'm charging forward with it, that you have a plan of action instead of just sort of seeing what the universe gives you, because that won't necessarily give you the best outcome. And a full moon is typically an opportunity for us to start releasing. So if this kind of energy, if you have found that you can be sort of rigid in your thinking about how something should be done, that might be something that you want to work towards sort of releasing and easing up on, and you can ask your spirit guides to assist you with that so that you can be more flexible, so you can be more open-minded to what the universe wants you to know and the messages that are coming through your environment or the people around you, so that you can see opportunities. Because if we're too, focused on one outcome, we can actually end up blocking ourselves from manifesting what we want, because the universe, your spirit guides, your ancestors that have crossed over, they see all avenues that are open to you. You only see what's already manifested. So allow the universe to bring to you what is the highest vibrational option to you, because we sometimes underestimate what we can actually achieve. So that's what I've channeled. I could just keep going, right? I'm a psychic medium, so I don't actually need cards to deliver the messages, but it definitely helps in illustrating a point. So let's get some cards that will help me to give you guys some more information from your guides. So what would you like pile number 2 to know? What would you like pile number 2 to know? Ooh. Let's see. Oh my, oh my, oh my. You guys might want to go back and listen to pile number 1. I have a feeling that the messages are linked because I shuffled repeatedly all of the cards after I did the reading for pile number 1, yet many of the same cards were coming forward. Okay, so you are in the same energy that pile number 1 has been in, which is the 9 of Swords. The 9 of Swords. And the 9 of Swords is an energy that embodies a lot of depression and sadness and pessimism. This is heavy, heavy energy. And part of the reason you're feeling that kind of heaviness is that you are in a state of conflict. The 5 of Wands is talking about conflict and battles. This can be embodying petty battles, you know, like people that basically just want to fight for the sake of fighting because they just want to be right at all costs, which is silly because they end up blocking themselves from their own abundance and manifestation. And you have been in this state where you haven't really had confidence in your own perceptions of things and how you should move forward in life because you've got the 4 of Cups. And the 4 of Cups is often talking about somebody who isn't satisfied with the opportunities or what they have on offer in front of them. And they are hearing messages from their intuition, but they're not always ready to take action on the things that their intuition, their spirit guides, their higher self are telling them because they aren't necessarily sure that what they're getting intuitively is actually going to work out in their favor. And partially, it's because there's work involved. There's big shifts and changes that need to take place for you to manifest the things that you want. You got the 7 of Wands, which is talking about having boundaries and standing your ground, and really, you know, putting in, like, having a firm stance, right, in what you want. And right now I feel like you're at an early incarnation of your journey, right? Like you have an idea, you know that you're not happy with what has been, right? You know what's been offered to you isn't satisfying you at all. You have a vague idea of what you want to manifest for yourself because you got the 2 of Wands. So you're definitely thinking about what you want to create. And, you know, your dreams need a practical plan also is highlighting that, right? You've got an idea and it's partially coming through your intuition. The Knight of Cups is an extremely intuitive individual, but still working on those skills, still learning how to master those skills and how to really be in balance with the action that's required to take something that's intuitively coming to you and grounding it out into the physical, right? Which is, you know, the action of the 7 of Wands. And you're being encouraged to start speaking your truth and really being like clear and precise with your actions and your words and tell the universe exactly what you want is basically what I'm trying to say. You got the King of Swords, who is extremely analytical and very factually based. Sometimes this is a person that's really rooted in science, and that might be partially why you're having trouble moving forward with your intuitive ideas, because you're waiting for things to sort of actually manifest in the physical before you take action on it. But to get you to the point where you are in alignment, unfortunately, you have to have faith in spirit first and sort of walk the 3 steps that they've illuminated to you before they're going to show you any further down the path. Like, that's part of having faith. You have to trust that this is all for your highest good before things are all made visible to you, which is part of the life lessons, right? Like, that is part of the lessons that you're learning, and it's so hard. Because you don't know anything. You're like trusting that this is all going to work out. But I can tell you from personal experience that if you start walking the path, you take one step, then another step will be illuminated to you. And then take another step, and then another step will be illuminated to you. And that's what this 3 of Wands is talking about. Because this card is often talking about things becoming manifested in the physical. Your ships start to come in. Things start to become in reach. So you might not have those things yet, but at least you can see them on the horizon. You can see how you're going to get there. And it's also going to allow you to start aligning with people that can help you, because you got the 3 of Coins. So this is talking about partnerships with other people. This is talking about even mentorship. Somebody who could potentially guide you through this process. And what you're trying to create is an extremely abundant life. You got the King of Coins, so you want to be a master manifestor. You want to possibly create a business or create some sort of product or build something in your life. It could even be building a family, like it could be that you want to have a partnership between your emotional, intuitive nature and your physical life. You want to have them in balance. And that's what the King of Coins is really, really great at. He's really rooted in his emotions, but he's equally rooted in his, physical world. He can take care of himself. He's not just living in the clouds. And you want to be happy. You got the Sun. You want to be able to be happy. Now, for some of you, I'm getting the feeling like there is some sort of like spiritual work you would like to do. And when I say spiritual, it could mean that you actually want to do like a traditionally spiritual job, like something like I'm doing. You might be a tarot card reader. You might be a crystal healer. You might be, something's coming forward about like meditation coach, things like that. But you might be doing something that is a more traditional healing job. Like you want to become a massage therapist, and you want to become, or like a chiropractor or a nutritionist, or you want to become a nurse, something like that. All of those are jobs that are equally rooted in the spiritual, because you have to trust your instincts, because they're people-oriented jobs. And to really be able to understand the struggles that somebody is going through so that you can give them tools that will actually help them to heal, you have to be able to empathize with what they've experienced. So, that's really where you want to be. But the caution from your guides is that you need to have a practical plan. So be willing to put in the hard work, because it will be work. Like, it takes a long time for things to manifest in the physical, I'll be honest. Like, it doesn't happen nearly as quickly as you would like it to. Lots of great things will happen, and lots of miracles, right? Like I was saying at the beginning of your reading, you have to be open-minded to let the universe just bring you whatever's in your best interest, and not like try and control the situation, because you might end up blocking yourself off from opportunities that would be amazing just because you hadn't even thought about it. So just have faith and take steps forward. Now, I'm not suggesting be reckless and make decisions like that will end up blowing your life up or put you in a position where you are, financially not sound or you're not safe. But what I'm saying is that have a little faith and trust the universe has your back, and within reason, start to just release and let things happen on their own. So let's get some more cards and figure out, some more advice for you guys based on, this building this practical plan. I am going to work with my Joy Seeker Oracle. This is my newest deck. I just did a walkthrough of it, so if anyone's interested in seeing more of the cards, you can check that out in the link below. It's a Canadian designed deck, which I'm excited about because I'm a Canadian. Okay, so what does group number 2 need to know? Oh, you got lots of cards. Okay, cool. Let's see here. So you got the cicada, the cheetah, the rat, the lynx, the dinosaur, and the bison. Okay, cool. So like I said, I just received this deck like just a couple of days ago. So I am going to give you a little bit of information on these cards based on my own knowledge of animal symbolism. And then we'll refer to the book that came with the deck. All right, so the bison is a symbol of abundance. So there's definitely abundance coming towards you. But it is, this bison, honestly, it's like Taurus, right? It's the same. The energy I'm still getting is that it's a caution to not block your own abundance by being stubborn, right? I don't know if any of you have ever experienced or been around bison, but they are so stubborn. Oh my God. Like if they don't want to move, there is nothing in the world that will get them to move. You can sit there, you can honk your horn at them for 3 days, and if they don't want to move, they won't move. They are truly a force to be reckoned with, though, because when they do want to move, they hustle. So I love that. Now, the dinosaur is also a symbol of not being stuck in the past and allowing the past to be in the past so that you can move forward, because the dinosaurs are extinct, right? That is the old version of you. It's not better or worse, it's just different, and it's something that possibly needs to be released, which is making me think of this 5 of Wands and the 9 of Swords, so that you can move towards your own abundance. And you got the lynx, and then you also got the cheetah, and cats are linked to psychic abilities and intuition. They're also linked to connecting with our past lives, because it's like that old wives' tale about a cat having 9 lives. It's talking about those past lives and being able to take the experiences and the skills that we developed in the past and bringing them into the present and utilizing them right now to help us. And the lynx is a cat that's very comfortable in cold weather. So it's understanding that you have all of the skills that you need to be able to survive through harsh conditions, because you can lean on your own psychic abilities, your past life strengths, to help you to move forward. And then the cheetah, not only is it a symbol of complete balance because it's got the coloration on its fur with the dark spots as well as the light colored fur, that's a symbol for the duality of life, balancing of the yin and yang energy, the yin being female energy, yang being masculine energy. We have both energies inside us at all times. But cheetahs are also the fastest animal in the world. So it's when you figure it out and you balance it out, you're going to be able to move so quickly forward. But it's also a matter of understanding that there are people around you that could potentially not have your best interests at heart and try and gnaw away at your own confidence. The rat is a symbol for that, where it's like, being hidden in the darkness and sort of like feeding on garbage, basically. It's not a positive energy, and you can release that. And it's just a matter of tuning into what your intuition is telling you, like the cicada. In the summer, here in Canada, you can hear those cicadas. It'll be completely quiet, and that's all you can hear. It's just a reminder that behind it, because you can really hear them at night, it's a reminder that you're not alone, that there's influences at play guiding you forward through the shadows at all times. So that's my intuitive interpretation based on my own knowledge of these animals. That's what I would say. Let's see what the book says. So let's start off with the bison. Okay, so it's a symbol of symbiosis and community. Bison are herd animals that rely on one another for community and protection, and sometimes we forget that we too can and should be bison. Clover fixes nitrogen to improve soil health. Oh yeah, there's clover in the foliage around the bison. Citronella is a natural insecticide, and echinacea attracts pollinators. All are working together to benefit each other and the group. Beautiful. Well, that really partners so lovely with the Three of Coins, where I was talking about how, once you start getting a plan together, the universe is going to start bringing you people into your life that will help you execute that plan. I love that. All right, and then you've got the dinosaur, and that is referring to embracing change and boldness. The dinosaur reminds us that big changes are coming, and you'll be leaving your current chapter behind. Rather than let this scare you, face it head on and be open to the change. The acorns and oak leaves remind us that change is inevitable and can bring on a new, beautiful reality. So true. Absolutely. The sun is your energy in the future, right? Big changes that are going to bring about so much joy. So much joy. And then the King of Coins here is being represented by the turtle. And in indigenous mythology, it's thought to be that the turtle or the tortoise carries the world on its back. So this card is also reminiscent of the world. And this dinosaur is bringing forth that energy of completing chapters and moving forward into a new phase of your life. Wow, I love that. That's awesome. Okay, let's see what the Lynx wants to tell you. It's talking about accepting and duality. The Lynx, with its exceptional night vision, reminds us that the darkness is a necessary force, and without it, we wouldn't have the contrast to appreciate the light. The waning crescent of the moon reminds us that the darkness is part of the process and is necessary, and the moonflower blooms show us there is beauty inside. This is very much like what I was talking about. She's just compared the lynx with the darkness, but I was talking about the lynx being comfortable in those harsh conditions in the winter. When things aren't moving forward, they are not growing. That is so awesome. So it's the same thing. Seeing that duality, accepting where you are, and going with the flow of energy as the universe presents it to you. And then you got the cheetah, which is talking about opportunity and risk assessment. The cheetah is the fastest land mammal, yet they are not as They're not an impulsive creature. That speed takes an immense amount of energy, so they carefully assess whether or not it's worth the energy. Tulips show us there is opportunity, and asters remind us to use our wisdom to determine if that opportunity is actually right for us right now. So true, so true. You do need to take into consideration, you have to do a risk-benefit analysis, basically, which is also going to help you with coming up with that practical plan, right? What do you need to do right now, and what can you put off until later? Write it all out and focus on just what you need to do right now. There can be a tendency to sort of feel scattered, especially when you're at the beginning of a project, because there's so many things that need to get done that it's like you might feel drawn to work on one thing, and then you want to move on to another thing, and you want to move on to another thing. But it might be in your best interest to come up with a list, say, of 4 things that you want to tackle right away. Because I can relate to getting bored with something and not wanting to work on one particular aspect until it's completely done. And the way I get around that is coming up with 4 things, so I can, sort of cycle through those 4 things. There's actually 35 things that I have to do, but I'm only going to focus on those 4 things for right now. But whatever works for you, just come up with, sort of a plan of attack for you and stick with it. Stick with it until it's proven that it isn't working in your favor before you adjust. Okay, so then you've got the rat, and that's referring to decluttering and minimalism. Despite bad stereotypes, the rat is a champion of cleanliness. They remind us that it might be time for some cleaning, removing both physical and emotional clutter. Some flowers have been used to purge radiation from the soil. Further cleaning it. That's interesting. I didn't know that. That's very cool. So like I was saying before, clean out the clutter. Clean out the garbage. You don't need it in your life, whether that's your own thoughts about your, capabilities, or whether that's people that are holding you back. And then finally, you got the cicada, which is a symbol of transformation and change. I love that. The cicada is a creature of transformation, but unlike the butterfly, they change rapidly without a pupal stage. The yew tree branches often symbolize resurrection, reminding us that we can and will get through these inevitable life changes. Beautiful. I'm so glad that that was the final card. Absolutely. You're going to have to go through a transition and change. You're not going to come out of this being the same person that you started off as, but it's going to birth new opportunities for you so that you can shine like the sun, bringing in all kinds of abundance for you, the King of Coins, and possibly, new partnerships that are just going to fulfill you on a level that you haven't experienced, and you're going to be able to be truthful with those people about who you are. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. It was such a pleasure doing this. Like I was saying before, I'm running that contest, so all you have to do to enter to get a free personal reading is subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment below. And if anyone would like a one-on-one reading and you don't want to wait to see the outcome of the competition, you can go to my website, odessamall.com, and you can book there. So I hope you have a fantastic day, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next reading. Take care. Hi, pile number 3. Okay, so I've got your card here, and this is going to give me a general overview of what your spirit guides would like you to know right now. So let's take a look at what it is. Work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio. All right. So Scorpio is associated with psychic abilities. And for some reason, I'm really strongly feeling like for some of you, it might actually have the fears that you're trying to work through is your fear of the unknown when it comes to the spiritual realm. Like that there's kind of some fear with inviting energy into your life that you might not be able to have control over, or it might be like disguising itself. That might not resonate for all of you. If it's not spiritual energy, it could be, people energy. This could be like a fear of starting a new relationship, and like your relationships in the past were really toxic and you're afraid to move forward with a new person because you don't want it to be the same old karmic cycle, or you're afraid to move on to a new job because you've been working at the old job for so long, even though you hate it. You're like, it's the devil you know is better than the devil you don't, that kind of idea. But it's like a matter of you sort of working through those fears and allowing your intuition to guide you forward. And the new moon is all about manifesting and bringing new energy into our life, because as the phases of the moon shift and change, the moon gets brighter and brighter and brighter because it's transitioning from the new moon, where it's completely black, into the full moon. So let's get some more cards and see what else your guides would like to tell me about this shift and change for you. All right. What can pile 3's guides tell me? What would you like pile number 3 to know? Okay. Well, man. So you have been, the energy that I get is that for a lot of you, this has to do with being in situations that really weren't working in your favor. So you got the 10 of Wands, which is talking about there being heavy burdens that are so great that you almost can't carry them any longer, that you feel overwhelmed. Oftentimes this card is talking about there being a need to ask for assistance when it comes to, balancing your load. But it feels like you don't have anyone that you can ask to help you, because everyone around you is like toxic, that they don't have your best interests at heart, because you have the 10 of Swords, which is talking about painful endings and betrayal. And for some of you, I feel like this has to do with love and a relationship, because the 3 of Cups came out, and this card can, with these others, often is talking about there being a third-party situation, or there being some sort of like betrayal behind your back. This can also be talking about overindulgences, things like trying to cover up your fears and your anxieties by, drinking or going out with friends a lot, but like people that don't have your best interests at heart, that aren't watching out for you. where it's like not a balanced relationship, or it could be, you know, you are working within a group of people and they are giving you so much work. You have all of the burdens on you. You have to take care of everything, but they don't give you any of the credit. They take all the credit for themselves and they, you know, basically, you know, cut you off when you ask for what is, you know, rightfully yours, which is just not right at all. And you're exhausted. You know, you're being encouraged to take a time out and really recalibrate is the word I'm getting, like to go into a meditative state. You know, this card you got the Four of Swords, so it's talking about rest, recuperation, meditation. And it's a matter of you going within, I think, working through some of your fears, but largely it has to do with really figuring out what you're afraid of. You know, what is it that's really off about the situation? You know, like sometimes we're so in it that we don't even see things clearly until we're out of the situation and we look back on it in hindsight and we're like, what? Like, why did I let somebody treat me that way? Why did I let that situation carry on for that long? You know, but it's because you're sort of like desensitized to what's going on around you. And what's going on around you is not healthy. Like these situations are just totally not good at all. And if you can take that time out to just sort of reflect, figure out really what you need. And I'm being encouraged to tell you to start journaling. Write down everything that was happening, all your feelings. It's a good way of sort of organizing your thoughts, because when we're in anxiety mode, like we can have this like rapid cycling of trauma in our own mind where we can't really like get a grip on it. So if you start writing it down, you can just sort of focus, and then over time you can come back to it and sort of reflect on things later to help you work through your fears. And you'll find that as time goes on and the more work you're doing on, you know, finding your own bliss and balance, you'll start reading these entries and you'll start seeing things in a totally different light. It will be very beneficial to you. It will give you an opportunity to really like have an epiphany. And you got the Judgment card, which is talking about spiritual awakenings and epiphanies and getting insight from spirit. You'll be able to see what was going on around you in a way that you were not able to see it before. And you'll be able to see what is truly balanced and what isn't. You got the Six of Coins, so that's talking all about it like a fair exchange of goods. And once you figure out what is fair, you know, based on like what you are owed versus what somebody else should have, you'll be in your King of Coins energy, where you're going to be able to manifest into your life what you actually want. So we definitely need a couple more cards to sort of flesh this out, because I'd really like to know, like, what are the fears that pile number 3 is working out, and what do they need to do? Okay, I already have an idea of what's going on. So you got the Nine of Wands. That's the card that just came out. And my guides are like, just say it, just say it, just say it. So we'll come back to that in a second. So the Nine of Wands is talking about the wounded warrior. And that would be you. You're the wounded warrior. Somebody who's really had to fight hard to put up boundaries. Now, you might not be at that stage yet. You might not be at the stage of having the boundaries yet. Because the fear of the Nine of Wands is that when you set up boundaries, the people that were in your life that you were getting like the bare minimum from will leave, and then you'll be left with nothing. But the lesson of that is that if somebody is going to walk away from you, because you ask them to treat you with respect and consideration and provide you what you deserve, they are not a good influence in your life. Let them go, because they are obviously working from their shadow, and they're likely treating you like garbage because they don't love themselves and they don't know what real love, real unconditional love means. And it's better for you to just be on your own for a while until you get your head straight and you sort of are able to release your own fears and figure out what truly fills you up and makes you feel whole and makes you feel balanced before you start bringing in new people. Because once you have healthy boundaries, then you'll be able to bring in healthy individuals. The Three of Cups in its best energy is talking about celebrations, and it's talking about like a balanced friendship where everyone is bringing equal energy to the table. And that's what we want for you, right? Because that's what the Six of Coins is talking about. We want you to have balance in life. So let's see what else Spirit would like you to know. Okay, let's stop it there because that's lots to work with. All right, yeah. So you have definitely been betrayed. Somebody was definitely doing things behind your back that was not okay at all. You got the Seven of Swords. So this is talking about betrayal, getting away with something, manipulation, scheming. They're like behind the scenes doing things that they shouldn't be doing. And you got the Three of Coins. And the Three of Coins is, I'm coming out right under the Three of Cups. So for you that are having trouble in a relationship, this has a lot to do with the fact that your partner has some sort of like shadow energy at play, and they are, narcissistic and self-serving, and they don't deserve you because they don't see your beauty. They feel like if they find the right person, or they indulge in the right substance, or they own the right stuff, that pain in their heart that tells them that they're not good enough will like be filled, and their fears will go away. But it won't, because the only way that can shift and change and be released is if they see their own beauty. So let them go on their own path, let them figure it out themselves, and cut the cord is what I was getting. And you have the Ace of Swords. Cut the cord with this person. I'm getting goosebumps. For you spiritual, witchy folks out there who understand what a cord cutting is, you should definitely take action on that. And for those of you who have never heard of cord cutting, basically it is a process of disconnecting your energy from somebody else. Specifically, somebody who is draining on your energy. If you find yourself feeling flustered and confused when you're around this individual, or if you find that you're feeling really depressed or anxious, even being around this person or thinking about this person, or they're constantly playing on your mind, even though all of the thoughts you have about them are negative, it's a sign that you have a negative cord attached with them. And there's a number of different things that you can do to sever that energetic tie. There is different things that you can do with spiritual healing, Reiki, meditation, there's spell work that can be done. There's a lot of different things. I do cord cutting in all of my Reiki sessions. So if somebody wanted to work with me, I could help you out with that as well. But you're definitely being encouraged to cut the cords, because this energy that they keep sort of pouring into you, all of their like junky, low vibrational energy, is keeping you in a 5 of Cups energy where you're feeling pessimistic about the future. You're feeling like there's no opportunity for you. Like, what if I never meet somebody else? And negative cords don't have to be in place just with somebody you're in a relationship with. We create energetic bonds with every person that we interact with on a daily basis. It's part of our energetic system. It's part of our nature as energetic beings. So you can have negative cords with your family members, with your coworkers, with your boss, with your neighbors, definitely past lovers, absolutely current lovers. All of that can create these negative ties where it really is like this knotted ball where you're just like bound up. And it really can keep you in this persistent fear energy and this pessimistic energy. And if you can sever that tie and you can start to mother yourself, you know, really lean into the Queen of Cups energy where you're going to nurture yourself. You're going to start talking to yourself in a different way. And you're going to ask your guides and you're going to lean on your spiritual nature to help you to overcome this, because you got the Hierophant. And this is talking about getting answers from this spiritual realm. And the answers will come to you. They will be gifted to you. You got the Ace of Coins. They will be gifted to you through your intuition, and it will be practical things that you can do in the physical world to shift and change your life. So that might be having a Reiki session. That might be going to a yoga class. That might be any number of things, changing the way that you talk to yourself, listening to sleep affirmations, starting to indulge in your creative endeavors, the things that bring you joy, any of those things. But once that information starts coming to you, it is going to invigorate you so that you've got 2 cards here that are talking all about charging forward. You've got the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is a very charismatic person, a leader, but they're at the beginning of their journey. They're still figuring out who they are and, you know, what they want to, you know, how they want to make their mark on the world. And they are very fiery and passionate and driven. But you also got the Chariot. So the Chariot is that same energy of the Knight of Wands, but it's like graduated. You've graduated from the Knight of Wands into a more mature energy where you have both sides of your energy, the masculine and the feminine side of your energy, you know, the sun energy and the moon energy balanced out so that you can be true to your spiritual nature and your analytical nature. You know, it doesn't have to be one thing or the other. And that process then brings you the world. So that's saying that you end up closing out a cycle and starting a new cycle. And for those of you that are in, you know, toxic relationships, it's a new partnership with a divine counterpart that truly honors you. You know, the World card typically doesn't have partners on it, but these 2 are definitely lovers. And so it's a whole new cycle of romance for you. Oh, I love it. Okay, so I'm going to get you guys a couple of final cards from Spirit just to give you some parting advice. So let's see. What final messages would you like to give? There we go. Okay. So I'm working with, this is the Joy Seeker Oracle. I just received this deck. It's my newest deck, and I did a walkthrough of it. If you're interested in seeing all of the cards up close and personal, the link is below. Okay, so the first card that you got is the Martin, then you got the Shark, and you got the Octopus. Oh, wow. Okay, let's see. Now, like you said, this is a brand new deck for me, and I haven't read through the entire book, but what I can tell you is what I know about the spiritual nature of these particular animals. So for one, the shark. This is talking about possibly there being predators around you, but it can also be talking about, sort of compulsively acting from like outdated or old ways of thinking, like our primitive brain, like making decisions based on like our instincts and our old impulses, but not necessarily taking into consideration like our more spiritual nature or evolved nature. And the octopus is like the evolution of that, where the octopus is like a shapeshifter. They can conform to any environment, and they're very intuitive. Octopus are extremely intelligent, and they're multitaskers. With all of those arms, they're able to establish themselves in a whole bunch of different areas and really find balance and support. And then the martin, to me, is all about leaning into your playful and curious nature so that you can find that balance, basically like leaning into your joy and happiness. So let's see what the book has to say. We'll start with the shark. Okay, so it says action and determination. The shark is your sign to move forward, whether it be on a new opportunity, an idea that has been brewing for a while, or even releasing something that is no longer serving you. Arrowhead leaves show us that we have to choose a direction, and dahlias symbolize the inner strength needed to push forward, which is, she's talking about all the foliage that's around the shark. Release what does not serve you. All of those outdated beliefs, all of those people that don't believe in you or won't support you or gaslighting you and draining you of your energy, just leave them be. You don't have to have a fiery, blowout with them. You can just sort of shift your coloration and slide away. Be the octopus. So let's find the octopus in this book here. Here we go. The octopus is a symbol of ingenuity and flexibility. The octopus is a master of flexibility, getting into and out of just about anything. It sets its mind to. This is your invitation to embrace the spirit of the octopus and contort yourself mentally a bit to achieve your dreams. And clematis flowers symbolize mental strength and ingenuity, reminding us that a bit of discomfort you will experience will be worth it. Absolutely. You might have to be on your own for a little while. You might have to be walking this path, making your own decisions without getting the advice from others. But ultimately, that helps you to have more confidence in your decisions, that you can make the right decisions for yourself, because your future is, your highest vibrational path is to have abundance, to have a solid partnership, right? You're the king of coins here. You're the queen of cups, truly empathetic and grounded in her spiritual nature and the material world. The Hierophant, also spiritual. Ace of coins, new opportunities, and the world. Completion of cycles, new karma, positive energy. You can do this on your own. It's just that through the past experiences, you've sort of grown to believe that you're not as powerful as you actually are. And then the Martin, reassessing commitments, inner alignment. The Martin is introverted and quiet while still very lively. You have the ability to back out of situations and wiggle away. That's what I was saying about that octopus too. Snapdragons symbolize a charm against falsehood, pointing to commitments that we don't actually want to keep. You have the ability to wiggle out of them, and with grace. Oh my God, that's what I was just talking about. How you can get away from this like shark energy, the 10 of swords, the 10 of wands. You are at the end of a cycle. It's just a matter of you cutting ties with that energy and moving towards what you really want. But you can adapt to the climate that you want to move towards, and just allow those old energies to drift out of your life. Don't worry. It will be replaced with energy that is high vibrational and so much better if you can have courage to just go it on your own just for a little while. And besides, you're never alone, because your guides and your ancestors are always with you, and your friends are always with you. They're only one pick a card away. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. It was such a pleasure. And if you guys want to participate in the contest I'm doing, just subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment below. I hope to see you guys in the next pick a card, and have a fantastic day. Take care.